Hey everybody, this is Sarah Gilbert with Transitions Therapy LLC. I want to talk to you a little bit today about transformation or transition. That is what I'm passionate about, is helping people through those processes. So I thought I'd focus a little bit on that today and give you some tips. I want to talk to you about what I think are the 3 C's of transformation. So as always, this video is for educational, informational purposes only and not intended to be a substitute for therapy. So with that disclaimer out of the way, let's get to the topic at hand, the 3 C's of transformation: challenge, choice, and change. I guess looking at that, I really could have called this the 3 CHs of change, but that just sounds kind of weird. So let's just go with the 3 C's. So the first one, challenge. Challenge can be obviously something that we expected or not expected, but most of the time we don't really view challenge as a great thing, right? So, to give you some examples of what I mean by challenge in this scenario here, could be like a new medical diagnosis, or it could be a really big fight that you've gotten into with someone that you love, or family member, friend. It could be some struggles at work, a layoff notice at work, anything like that. So a challenge is some source of difficulty, right? And that's the first part, because without challenge, we're probably not as inclined to go about some sort of change, right? Challenges can often motivate us to make some sort of change or improvement in our lives far better than if things are just going great and perfect and we're really content. So the challenge is the first part, and from that challenge, it's really important to move into the next step, which is choice. Now, I kind of think that this is the most important part of these 3 aspects of transformation, because it is so vitally important that in any given situation, no matter how stressful, how challenging, that you recognize that you have some choices. Now, in some scenarios, the choices are between like crappy and less crappy. Sometimes there's not an obvious, really amazing choice in front of us, but it's really, really important that we recognize that we have choices, because when we're not recognizing that, we're feeling trapped, we're feeling stuck, resentful, frustrated, angry, depressed, all sorts of things that aren't good, right? So it's really important when we're facing a challenge to look at and be aware of all of our choices in a situation. And again, like I said, sometimes the choices are not easy. Sometimes it's choosing the lesser of the 2 evils, but recognize that you have choices. Choices in maybe supports you can reach out to, choices in how you're facing the situation, how you're thinking about it, choices in just different opportunities that maybe you hadn't explored before because you didn't have to, right? So then that brings us to our third part, which is change. Change, I think a lot of you know what that means, right? If not all of you, but change is some sort of going through a transformation process, some new result, a way in which your life is somehow different because of going through these first 2 steps. So out of this whole experience here, this whole chain of events, you may find that your change looks like a new career path. Your change may be a new way that you're looking at yourself. Your change may be some clearer sense on your identity, your boundaries, what lights you up, what excites you. Your change could be realizing what you can no longer tolerate in your life. So change is something that can be really amazing, and it often is, but so many times we're afraid of it, because even if things are unhappy and stressful, there's some comfort to that familiarity, knowing what to expect. So again, the 3 C's of transformation: challenge, choice, and change. I hope this information was helpful to you, and I'd love to hear your comments or takeaways, so please feel free to post them in the comment section below. And for more information about my practice, please visit my website, which is transitionsTherapyLLC.com. Have a great day. Bye.